Hello and welcome to this Junior's Gasoline Alley, where today we're going to be solving a clutch pedal that is stuck down on my 1997 BMW Z3. However, this process, which includes replacing our clutch slave cylinder, well, that is going to be the same for a bunch of BMWs, including the E36, the E30, E46s. So don't worry if your car is not a Z3, you'll be there. Now, I will recommend that you either do the LUK or the FTE slave cylinder, and well, that's because they're both made by FTE, which is the OE supplier for BMW. And considering the cheapest slave cylinder is about 25 bucks and the most expensive one is 70 bucks, why not do the better one? And so when I bought this LUK, which I'll have linked down below, this was about $50 when I bought it. So we're going to need to be replacing this, which includes taking the clutch line, swapping it over. There are 2 bolts that we have to get to, and then getting this aligned and then bled. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not that bad. First place that we will want to start though is under the hood, where here we're going to want to make sure that we have enough fluid in our brake fluid reservoir. And that's because your clutch cylinder, well, that is relying on the same fluid that the brakes are. So we want to make sure that that has enough fluid in it. And the danger you could run into if you didn't have enough DOT fluid or DOT4 fluid in there is that this could run dry. And if that ends up happening, the challenge would come that you would end up having to bleed all of the brakes. We want to make sure that when we change over the hose from our clutch slave cylinder, that well, it's not going to have the opportunity to drain the reservoir of the master cylinder. Now, underneath your car, you'll see where your manual transmission is on the left-hand side. There's going to be this hose going up to what we see here, and what that is your slave cylinder for the clutch. So basically here we've got 1 bolt or nut, I should say, right there, 1 on top, which we're going to have to use an extension because you can, if we just look down there, you should be able to see it. Yep, so we've got a straight line where just behind where the guibo is coming off of your tail shaft of the transmission, you should be able to get a super long extension that way and be able to get to it. The other thing you'll notice is you see all this fluid right here on the cross member and on the transmission. Well, that's because since the slave cylinder goes inside the bell housing of the transmission, the only way out for that fluid is going to be through these couple of weep holes there. And now underneath the car, we're going to go ahead and start by taking the 2 bolts off of the slave cylinder and how it attaches to the transmission. There's 1 on top, 1 on bottom via those little ears, and that's going to be a 13 millimeter, which we'll go ahead and just use our ratchet to break and begin loosening. Okay, there we are, and we'll do the same for this guy. And there we are, these guys have come off, and now we should just be able to essentially slide our clutch slave out. Okay, and there we are. So that's the clutch slave, and you can see it clearly did fail because this both shouldn't be wiggly like that, nor should it be covered in fluid like it is right now. So good sign, we know what's wrong. Now we've got to take a flare wrench and just start unscrewing the hydraulic line that comes down to our clutch cylinder or slave cylinder, and we'll get it replaced. Okay, so we're taking that one off. Then we've got our new one here. Just start. Oh, fuck. Okay, there we go. With way too much fluid lost, that over, so we're gonna keep, and I'm just gonna look at this. Basically, we want that about there. So let's go ahead and see how we can get this tightened down. Okay. So the master cylinder, or the slave cylinder, is in. Let's go ahead and just make sure. And what I'm doing now is placing the slave cylinder back into the housing of the transmission. As you're doing this, it is a little fiddly to get it into place, but the goal here is to make sure that you get it lined up with the clutch fork inside of the housing of the transmission, and you'll feel a bit of resistance because it is going to be under pressure as you slide it into the housing. So do a little bit of fiddling, make sure you get it in the right spot, and as you feel it go into place, it will have a detent or a very set spot that it's going to be in, and then you're going to hold it with a little pressure to be able to then start tightening up those 13 millimeter bolts back onto the studs. One bolt's on. There we go. Hopefully means I can get the other one on. And with both of the bolts threaded onto the studs, now I need to turn my attention to using the ratchet to tighten up the lower and the upper bolts, and that will allow us to complete the installation of the slave cylinder back onto the housing of the transmission.
We tried to figure out the problem is with the clutch pedal.
It's the slave cylinder.
Oh no.
It's this thing. I'll show it to you when we get out from underneath here.
That cylinder?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yep.
Definitely not that good. I told you it might have been working for back in, but really it did not.
Yep. The top bolt is especially challenging to get at, so you may find that, like myself, you're having to go at it a few different ways because it is entirely blind to you from laying underneath the car. And keep in mind, with them only being 13 millimeters, this is not going to be a GFT torque spec, but rather a good and snug torque spec. And here we are, we've got the new slave cylinder installed. Now that wasn't too bad, and we've got our hose coming down from the clutch pedal tightened up. We've got both of the 13 millimeter nuts tightened in. Now we're just going to go ahead and take the cap off and begin the bleeding process, which we need to do so that we can have good clutch pedal feel again. All right, so what I have set up here is now just a power bleeder going to our brake fluid reservoir. This is the same fluid that's used for the brakes, same reservoir, but basically what we need to do now is, with this guy, we've got some pressure put into it. We'll get underneath and we'll start opening the bleed screw so that we're able to get fluid out and get the air coming out as well. And actually you can see there's little bits of air coming out of that master cylinder anyways, so this is or rather reservoir I should say anyways, so this is good news. Let's hop underneath, crack open the bleeder. All right, so I have my bleeder bottle set up with the hose coming out, and we'll go ahead and crack our bleeder screw. See what happens with the fluid. So here should just start bleeding, and we give it a little bit and we'll be all set. We just did the bleeding procedure on the car. Before moving on, I'm gonna go ahead and just try out the clutch, see what happens. So not a whole heck of a lot. So it's time to get back under there, do some more bleeding. All right, so I've done this a couple of times over, and the clutch pedal is definitely starting to feel pretty good, but we'll do one last go, make sure that we've got a nice feeling clutch pedal. You can see on the video there just the brake fluid coming through smooth. I'm not seeing any bubbles this go around. Hopefully the addition of the flashlight is going to help you see better, but so we're just doing that. Off, turn it on one more time. And that should be pretty good. So I'll tighten that up. We'll go ahead, take all of this stuff off, and then let me jump into the car and I'll show you how the brake pedal feels. Give it a quick feel. What you want is a nice smooth pedal feel with a fair amount of resistance. And so, yeah, that's exactly what I got. Now, if you feel that kind of have a hole in it, or, you know, when you push down, it's way too low, that's a good sign that you still have some bleeding to do. But in this case, that is feeling and working exactly how I wanted it to. And this is the original slave cylinder that came off of the car. As you can see here, do have a little bit of corrosion on that bleeder screw, no big deal. But the major thing here is actually that the seals, what we've got right there on the slave cylinder, totally done and just leaking. You know, these things go bad, and well, this one is all done. Thanks for joining me on the process of replacing your slave cylinder. As you can see, it's really not a bad job, and in fact, this got done in roughly about an hour and a half. So with the right tools, which of course I'll have linked below, as well as a new slave cylinder, you'll be back together in no time on your E36, E46, what have you. Early BMWs, all are the same.